Hi, folks. Welcome. I've got a little weather cast here for you tonight. First of all, we'll start out with our tower cam views, and I hope you've been having a good Saturday. Weather turned off cooler as expected. We're down to 53 now out at AX. We're dew point of 47, and that will drop some during the night as we lose some of the cloudiness. A little bit of a breezy day from time to time, making it feel, along with the clouds, a little bit cooler. Certainly cooler than what the thermometer said for today. So I think some folks back to heat now for a couple of days as we go 2 or 3 days with temperatures below normal, and looking at the clouds about 2 to 3,000 feet above the surface. And going to Gina, same thing on the Sinlot Broadcasting Tower cam there, 57 in that direction, a little bit higher, and you still see the clouds, these clouds about 2 to 3,000 feet above the surface as well. We'll call it mostly cloudy. Looking at the satellite and radar imagery showing, this is an important thing for our temperature forecast tonight. See the high clouds here, but then the grayer shades, that is the low clouds. You see a clearing trend working into the Arctic right now. Looks like Texarkana is clear, and it's worked into the northwest corner of Louisiana, and that is going to be moving steadily in our direction. The high clouds have pushed southward as well, and so once we lose some of the clouds, I don't think we'll totally lose clouds, at least across part of the area. Now, this is how one of our more reliable models, high resolution models, about looking at the cloud cover and how it's going to erode from northwest to southeast during the night. Here we go with the clearing trend. Natchitoches will clear off pretty well, probably Manny and Winfield. But once we go into the remainder of that, we'll see the clearing trend kind of halt just a bit. And elsewhere in areas of Louisiana and central Louisiana, I think I'll call it partial clearing. And then you saw, let the model kind of run on through, and we saw that there will be variable cloudiness over the next 2 days, say in the Sunday and Monday. But it's mostly going to be high and middle of a cloud, so don't anticipate any rain, but it will also be mixing with sunshine. So it's going to be a good time, stable time for us. Lows tonight, 48 is typical. We're going to be below that. I'm calling for 42 based on the clearing and partial clearing trend that I'm expecting and the timeline that I gave. 26 is the record for tomorrow morning. Not going to get there. Thankfully, no freeze expected, so we can handle that. And then going into the city by city forecast, as you pick out a destination close to where you're located, and you kind of compare what you get to what my forecast is. I'll also say that some readings tonight could be as low as 38 degrees. I do have Natchitoches in there at 39 degrees. Manny, Winfield, Sabine, Natchitoches parishes could certainly hit somewhere in the upper 30s at a few locations or two. And then the highest readings will hold in the mid 40s. So I do have Opelousas coming in at 45. Sunday's high temperatures typically we see 69. I think we'll be a tad below that. My forecast is for 65 with a range of 61 to 69. There'll be a little bit of a trend toward lower readings off toward the northeast in these areas from Gina and toward Jonesville, Natchez, Mississippi, Faraday, Vidalia, and those areas about 62, 63 over in that direction. But then you head the opposite direction toward the southwest, so Dritter and Oakdale got some upper 60s over in those places. And I think that will be a trend which is kind of typical for this time of year. And again, some readings could be as warm as 69. That's a kind of a typical range that we expect in these kind of patterns. Futurecast, kind of programming the weather ahead because we do see some changes ahead. First of all, by Monday, we'll see a little piece of energy there set up in the plains. Let me mark that for you right here. You see a little bit of a difference in the wind direction here. In fact, you can kind of just see a circulation right in this particular area. And of course, that means that there is a system there. That is going to be approaching us when the atmosphere is stable. We're going to be dry. We're not going to have any energy really to work with. So that disturbance should pass through uneventful, just some high and mid-level cloudiness. A second disturbance will take shape Tuesday here across the plains. This is a larger one. You kind of see the axis of that disturbance sitting like this all the way down from the central plains into Mexico. There's your flow change right there. These, again, mark areas where the air is being accelerated and will bring weather changes. And you can be your own armchair forecaster. If you can learn to track these things, then you could be a forecaster as well in some cases. All right, so that system will work through, and it will actually bring us a little rain chance and an increase in clouds on Wednesday. But afterwards, we see bigger changes as we see a massive system sitting off across the southwest. There's also a lot of energy up here in the north, right in here. You can see that just kind of coming right out of Canada. And so what that means for us is, as we program this forward, this energy out to the west isn't going to be moving a whole lot, be moving to the southeast. It will be moving enough to affect our weather. And by Sunday, this energy in the north continues. So I think that this pattern means that we could continue a rain chance all the way into Sunday through the weekend. But that's beyond the 7-day just a bit. So here we go with your 7-day forecast. 42 and 65 for your Sunday. Don't forget to spring forward Saturday night, and then you'll be ready for the next 6 months or so. 43, so these cool mornings continue, and 43 on Tuesday morning. Remember, there's several degrees variation there, but we do see a steady warming trend in the afternoons. 69 Monday, 74 for Tuesday. A little bit warmer on Wednesday. That might be our warmest day as we see an increase in clouds. I did up the rain chance to 30%. A couple of more models are showing a little bit more rain coverage in that day. So I'm going to go with that. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, showers and some thunderstorms likely. I did put in a little bit of severe potential there on Thursday and Friday. The Storm Prediction Center has not done so in our area, but they have criteria numbers that they go by. It has to be 15% this far ahead, and they think the predictability is not good enough for that. But I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. I have seen some man-machine and artificial intelligence mix there, kind of indicate that there is potential for that, and the pattern fits it as well. I'm also going to put in a locally heavy rainfall. Kind of this is all a little bit more detail in my strong weather thing that I had last night. And a front actually comes through in the Friday night time frame, maybe Saturday morning. It's a slow moving front, so that could set the stage for some of that locally heavy rainfall. Right now I'm looking at maybe 2 to 4 inches during that 3-day period in some locations. So again, we're kind of far out on that, and many times these details as far as how the severe weather happens, how much of it happens, as well as the rainfall statistics and rainfall pattern becomes dependent on smaller scale things instead of the larger scale things. So we've got time to iron that out, but just be prepared for pretty good weather for the next several days, and then some changes as we head into the latter part of the week and into next weekend. Well, thanks for being with me. I'll be with you in the PM tomorrow as well, probably afternoon or early evening about this time. All right, thanks for listening, and have a blessed Sunday.